And look who's back. Back on the scene with the Gangster Lean. All right, let's do a quick mic check with everybody out there. Welcome, everybody. Let's see what we got over here. What's good? What's good? Shy boy. Big Mike's in the building. This is Ruben. About 35 other people in the building. What's good with you people? Claro, that's what I want to hear. Get some of this. Got some of the sweat down over here. When you're about to get going, you got moving, you're doing all kind of stuff. What's up, Smileysos? Good to see you back. Good to have you back. You know, I've been gone for a minute, doing my thing. That's right. Doing my thing, chilling, bro. Just came back from Mammoth Lake. You guys go check out that vlog. Check out that place, Convict Lake, man. One of the GC supervisors told me about Convict Lake, and he told me, Gil, you got to make it to Convict Lake, bro. Whatever you do, you go to Mammoth, you got to make it. We passed by it on the way there, and it's literally 15 minutes away, dude, from Mammoth Lake. I mean, it's right down the street. And you pass it on your way there, and you're going to pass it on your way down, right? And when I went in there, my God, bro, it looks like a postcard picture. It doesn't even look real how nice it is, man. The crystal clear water. I believe the lake was made by two glaciers hitting one another or something or other. I don't know if there's still a glacier down there. That's why the water just stays there. But it is just, it's something that is surreal, bro. The pictures look fake because it's such a nice place to go and visit. And it's a small place, but you just go in there and just chill. Back in like 1871, a couple of convicts being transported, I think to Carson City, Nevada or something, escaped. They held up there for a while. They got into a big old shootout. Sheriff's died. It was a big old story, bro. And at the end of the day, that is why they call it Convict Lake. It isn't because the Pinteros go there and chill, homie. It's because the Pinteros ran away back there in the 1870s, homeboy. So let's see what you got, man. Gil, did you watch the Kid Rock show? No, I haven't even. I don't even know. I'm sure it's on YouTube. I'm sure it's somewhere you can restream it. I haven't gone to check it out, and I don't really think I am. I mean, I don't know. It's just. I mean, the reason I'm doing the podcast today was because I was inspired, bro. I was inspired by Bad Bunny and his performance. I think it was a great show of unity within our people. I think it was dope, man. I think it really. Let me try to turn this off real quick. Okay. I think it was a great force of unity by Bad Bunny. He put all his stuff, especially in Puerto Rico. He brought some guys out here that are local to Southern California, the taco place. They had the Vargas, one of the Vargas brothers in there. I mean, they had some other people that play violin. Like he Bad Bunny put on for the raza, dude. Like no if, ands, or buts about it. He put on for the people, man. He definitely let them know, like, hey, man, there's more to America than just blonde hair and blue eye, and there's nothing wrong with that either. But how I see so many conservatives get offended by this all of a sudden and saying we need to make this a halftime show. Those same conservatives had no clue what Kendrick Lamar was singing about last Super Bowl. No clue, bro. And there was even a little bit of stuff about that. Every Super Bowl, there is some type of controversy, but on this one, all of a sudden, it's we have to make our own. And you had Megyn Kelly talking about this is supposed to be something that unifies. No, Super Bowl isn't something to unify nobody. Super Bowl is a Super Bowl game, bro. There's people that are on opposite sides of the field, playing for different fields, talking shit to one another about what team you're on. It's the Super Bowl, bro. And like I said, last year when Kendrick Lamar was on, I can guarantee you there was a lot of people out there that weren't happy with it. They didn't want Kendrick on there. They had no clue what Kendrick was talking about. And it's every year you have somebody or another. But they even had Lady Gaga. That was gangster, bro. That was something that was huge. That was huge. And she did her music with a little bit of like Spanish type beats on there. Everything, dude. I think at the end of the day, everything was dope. I don't know about the two dudes rubbing up at each other. I didn't even catch that until people started posting it. Of course, you got the TikTok investigators, bro. But overall, I thought it was a great message. I thought that was a message of unity, and also it was a message of, hey guys, we exist, man. We're out here in your community. We're part of your community. We're not out here just robbing and pillaging and doing all the other stuff that everybody wants to tell you. And when I heard some people get upset about that, I'm like, bro, like, come on, man. It's kind of it shows their bigotry. I don't think those people are flat out like racist, but I think they're bigotry, man. It shows that if it was somebody talking about, they always talk about America first, America first. Well, let's not send a few $billion over to Israel, bro. Oh no, you can't say that, Gil. No, no. The Bible says that we have to protect them. Okay, well, the Bible also says, take care of your neighbor, take care of strangers, take care of people. So why is it that we can only, not us, me generally, but the same people that will tell you we have to support Israel because God said, well, God also commands you to, have empathy towards people, care about people, not just run up on people and act a fool. And that's what's been going on lately, man. And I ain't down with that, homeboy. I get it, bro, but Christians didn't watch. No, I get. Listen, bro, I get that. But if you watch, if you watched the, not saying you did, Shy Boy, but any of these Christians that watched the Kid Rock thing, it was the same thing. After Kid Rock did his little small speech about the Bible, then he goes into the rap stuff that he does, which that's what the rap music is. But that's the stuff that gets me, Shy Boy, is how, and I'm not saying you at all, brother, because I know you, but how some of these guys who sit there and push so much on what the Bible says, which I gotta respect, but use it both ways. Don't just use it when it convenes you and it says, oh no, we need to give Israel back to Israel because God said it here. Well, God said many things, bro. And this administration is not godly. And I'll be the first to admit it. It's not godly at all going around and preying on people. And they use the excuse that, oh, well, look, we picked up this rapist. That's good, bro. Go pick up the rapists, go pick up the criminals. But when they're just running up to people and saying, hey, you got your papers? Hey, you got your F you, bro. You're not supposed to be coming up to me just because I look brown, because that's what it is. They're going up to people and rushing people just because the color of the skin, nothing more. And then they try to hide it and say, oh, no, we're doing like, they're using a certain phrase and wording they're using like direct, or it's almost like they're saying they have warrants, but they don't. If you had a warrant, you'd be knocking on people's door and breaking into people's houses, walking up to people on the street and just saying, hey man, where were you born, and trying to get some kind of accent from them. No, bro, that's racial pride falling at its lowest point. uh-uh. The Super Bowl is about chicken wings and gambling. Hey, as a matter of fact, I got into a pool. I won $350, so I was happy about that, brother. Let's get some more people in here. But at the end, like I said, I was much more inspired than anything from the halftime show. And I think that's what he showed, bro. It was classy. It wasn't even that craziness, bro. I thought this was gonna come out with some way out stuff. Hope you don't come out with no dress or nothing weird. But no, it was pretty good, bro. It was pretty good, homeboy. There you go. Saludos, Gil from Carson City, Nevada. Carnal, what's going on, Carnal? Yeah, Carson City, man. Convict Lake. Look up the story, man. Convict Lake. Ah. Mm, let's see. Facts. Valley Race. Christians can't let the enemy. I'm not the type or from corrupt, but also agree in some way with American Shola. Shout out to my raza. That's right, brother. Appreciate you. And that's all it is, man. I hear you. And that's the problem I got with that, bro. It's like if you're gonna be and this is towards the Trump administration. If you're gonna be and even some Christian, what is it? Christian, is it in what's it called? Evangelical. You tell me the word, but I'm looking for that word. Is Christian something English, lestic, or something or another, bro? Um, the ones that are on Trump administration and always try to use that Bible, but then it kind of reminds me. It kind of reminds me of during like the Jim Crow days, the slavery days that they'll put the Bible, but at the same time I'm being racist as hell. They'll put the Bible, I'll enslave you. They'll put the Bible and they'll only read the parts. There you go. Evangelical. Thank you, buddy. I knew somebody would say it. Evangelical. Christians evangelical. Yeah, Christian evangelicals, bro, that will sit there and push that. But when it comes to our skin color, all of a sudden, no, we're criminals, bro. Everybody who came to this country illegally is a criminal. Everybody who came to this country, we should be able to press up on it. No, absolutely not, bro. That is definitely not what I voted for. I know many of people who are upset, and I'll be the first to say something. I wouldn't be a man of my word or a man of any moral standings if I just sat there and made excuses for what's going on out there right now. Some people say this is what you no, this is not what I voted for, bro. If that's like me telling you, okay, if you voted for the other side, you voted for children to get castrated. You voted for 11-year-old kids to go and have no, you didn't, bro. That's just an extreme. But this is what's gonna happen regardless of who's in power. But one thing that we will learn from this is now that when somebody's in power, bro, they can do a lot of things, and we'll see what happens in the next 2 years, 4 years. The problem is that I mean, we don't have much of a selection, bro. We don't have much of a selection at all of who's gonna be the next president of the United States. I mean, what do we got right now? The two biggest runners for the president of the United States is gonna be JD Vance, and it's gonna be what's our governor right now, Gavin Newsom, bro. Jeez, that is the problem. But the issue is this: I can't even believe I'm saying this, bro. If JD Vance comes to office, I'm gonna most likely vote for Gavin Newsom, man. It's insane, but I the way they're going about it right now, this is insane, man. We got promised no wars. BS. We got into it as soon as Israel said jump, we jumped. Uh, we're still in Ukraine. We bombed Iran. We're pressing up on Greenland. So we're getting involved in all kind of stuff outside of America, which we weren't supposed to. We're not out here arresting the criminals and the killers. They're going after every mom pop deal. A lot of the stores out here in Los Angeles, I would suspect that many other Latino places as well are losing customers. People are scared to go out. People are scared to go to the market, and rightfully so. People are scared to go to Home Depot, and rightfully so, bro, because these fools have overplayed their card, bro, and they have completely dismissed and put to the side the Latino vote. That's the same thing the left did before that, bro. So the thing is, we got to somehow, figure out how are we gonna do this. Gavin's gonna win because of the Raza vote. Yeah, yeah, probably, bro, probably. But that's the problem. Yeah, Gavin Newsom and JD Vance, some ass shit. But that is that is who we got. Let me make sure we got people knowing that we're on IG right now since I didn't post it. Let me see. All right, players, we are live on YouTube. Tap in. I don't know when I'll be live next time, so tap in now. I know people have told me last time, hey, Gil, let me know when you're going live. Well, I'm live now, players. So come to YouTube and tap in with your boy. Late. There you go. And now you got some of the politicians. We're gonna investigate the Bad Bunny. It's all just, man. It's just pandering to the man. Everybody right now is just pandering to the crowd, and it's the same thing. Absolutely nothing is being solved, dude. It sucks. Let me see. Gavin, JT, I'm waiting for Les Tuivo, so I'll be voting for Newsom. Damn, and I can't hate on people for that. I'm one of the guys who would say, and still, the Newsom, he's a horrible governor, dude. He's made the homeless problem much worse. He's made the crime much worse. He's made prostitution much worse. Homeless problem with all the money they wasted. Crime with making bills that you can pretty much rob any place for $1,000. I'm giving you facts that you're not just saying I'm hating the guy. Prostitution, he pretty much legalized by removing loitering laws in California because it was racist to Black, Latino, and transgender prostitutes, bro. You tell me, to me, that's a horrible governor because now you have a bunch of children, especially like in Figueroa, you got parents going out there in the morning, you got nothing but ass cheeks out there in G strings, and nobody says or does anything. So to me, he wouldn't have that on his neighborhood. Why would they have that in ours? The same thing. Another thing that Gavin Newsom is destroying California with is that how he's allowing ADU homes to be made in apartment complexes. So you guys who live in apartments that have parking on the ground, you very well may be losing it. If not today, in the future, especially if you live in those apartments that's only like about 6 units, so you only got about 6 units in there, you're gonna definitely lose that parking, bro. Sooner or later, your landlord's gonna get some money and he's gonna get his thing, man. Said broken homeless AC is experienced congenitive dissonance for voting Republican, meaning we told you so. No, bro, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback and go off of what's going on right now. I don't live in a world where if like I say, if my aunt had nuts, she'd be my uncle, right? We don't know where we would be today. Now, if you had that magic ball that we could look into and see what a Kamala Harris administration would look like today, and I would say, okay, let's go for it, bro. But you can't. So to sit there and say, oh, we told you so, that to me, that's just another way of making yourself feel better. Because at this point, okay, what do we do? What do we do next? If that's why I made a video. This was my like 5 months ago, 6 months ago. Okay, it's all my fault. I voted for Trump. Now what? Because what happens a lot with us is that's it. That's as far as we go. What's your fault? I told you so. Okay, well, what else you got, bro? It's like if I'm at work and I told a guy, hey man, put this here, and he's like, no, Gil, we should put it here, right? And then the form blows out, and I said, shit, the form blew out. I'm the foreman on the job, so I'm the one responsible for it. And I tell the guy, hey, so and so, get this shit, and he looks at me and say, no, man, I told you so. It's gonna blow out. All right, bro, we'll have time for that. This ain't the time for that. What do we do to fix a certain situation that we're in right now? Do we sit back and just let the concrete dry up and say, I told you so? Because that's what a lot of people will do. A lot of people will just sit there and all they have is, I told you so, it's your fault. Okay, bro. So, the last 4 years that was under a different administration, was that your fault because you voted for that? Everything they did? Nah, bro. It's at some point, what will help us move forward is not being cult followers. I've never been a cult follower to any party. I'm independent, bro. I stay independent because if I wasn't independent, I'd be like a lot of these bozos out there who are still all maggot out and will continue on that route, homie. And a lot of them are the Christian evangelicals that will do that. And to me, it's crazy because you know what? No, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, bro. That's just me. Let's see. Did you see Adam get what? Yeah, bro. That was embarrassing, man. At least throw one punch for. But what that shows you is Adam 22 is in no way, shape, has ever been from the streets. He's just a white guy with money who hires Crips and Bloods to come on his platform, and if he gets into beefs with them, he'll fire him, and he'll get another Crip or Blood to beef with that person, and just keep going on and on. And it's sad, bro. It's sad how you have some people who are smart individuals who will sell their soul for $200, bro. I guess that's just the game, bro. I guess that just tells you I guess that tells you how needy people are as far as getting money, how easy they'll sell out for that mighty dollar, bro. Because people talk all kind of crap about each other. The brothers talk about the brothers, the essays talk about the essays. But when it comes to Adam, people always look the other way. Oh, well, he's a white dude. No, no, he ain't a white dude no more. Just like that. He's a white dude all up in your politics, homeboy. Like you can't even imagine. Imagine in the hood, you fools are kicking, and there's this white boy over there instigating stuff between two of your homies. And he ain't from the hood. He just moved here from New Hampshire. He ain't ever banged. He ain't got no status, but for the last 4 years, he's been all up in your hood doing blogs, doing this, doing that, politicking against your homies and pushing this and pushing that. I don't know, carnal. The world has changed, that's for sure. Oh, okay, 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 I get you. This sort of is the mental discomfort experience for holding conflicting beliefs, values, attitude, or when behavior contradicts this belief. All right, fair enough, bro. But I know, do I definitely have? Yeah, bro. I have. I'm definitely upset at at how this whole outcome has come out, bro. I'm definitely not a Trump administrative supporter or a Trump supporter, bro. I'm right now. I'm like, no, fuck this guy, fuck ICE, fuck that administration, because that's what they're saying about us. They're saying fuck us, bro. There is no respect for the brown person, the brown man, the brown woman out there in the United States right now. There is no respect as far as when it comes to law enforcement, when it comes to ICE, when it comes to the feds, when it comes to any, there is absolutely no respect for us, bro. And you can tell just by the way even a halftime show made this huge controversy because they're speaking Spanish, and Megyn Kelly says, well, only 40. I hate to break the news to you, Megyn Kelly. Puerto Rico is part of the United States. So if that part of the United States speaks Spanish, well, that is part of the United States. They made it a territory. In other words, you shouldn't have made it a territory if you didn't want them speaking Spanish in your country. Puerto Rico, to some of you dumbass rednecks, shout out to the cool rednecks. Puerto Rico is America, buddy. He is an American citizen, damn it. Some people say, hey, you know how many non-American citizens have sang at the Super Bowl? Dozens, bro. He is an American citizen. He is from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States. In other words, it's a clica of the USA, homie. You can't sit there and get upset because of that. But, people want to get upset at everything and anything right now. And that's just the world we're living in right now. But, you got that lady who lost her life in that shooting. I thought that was BS. Guy could have moved out of the way, bro. But what it is at this point, it's almost give me any excuse. I saw this one thing last week, and it was this lady and this guy and his wife gets out, and the other driver goes up to her, and this lady taps the guy's hat or something. And this fool just clocks her, bro, knocks her out. Like, there was no need for that, bro. It's a damn lady. Push her, slap her, but hit her like a man. Like, the response to what's going on out there is beyond extreme. And then you got the other guy who's legally carrying a gun, was filming, was probably getting on their nerves, but he wasn't going for his strap, bro. And now you got the same people who are so quick to talk about the Second Amendment, how important it is to have our rights. That guy was legally carrying a gun. He didn't have the gun. He wasn't pointing out. They come on the news and straight up say, oh, he's out there with a gun, trying to make it seem like these cops just stopped a multiple shooting from a maniac who had a firearm illegal. It's complete lies, man. It's complete lies. They're completely lying because they've let this thing get out of control, because they've sat there and just anybody who looks brown, you have the right to go press up on. That's what's going on in America right now. It has nothing to do with, oh, we're looking for certain individuals. Nah, bro, you guys are just got a picture of brown color and say, hey, you guys seen this? Yeah, that guy's illegal. Let's go after him. And that's wrong, bro. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Chale. Please support the brave men and women of ICE. Listen, ICE, for the most part, the problem is with the administration, because they're the ones that pass down the law, the rules of engagement. And right now, the rules of engagement is F everybody, We can go to any city and we can go to any person that we assume, that we think, not that we know, not that we have paperwork on. Those guys, get your money, bro. If ICE has a warrant for you, you've got deportation papers, they got the warrant, it's you, they're coming after you, then get your money, ICE. But if you're just walking up to a gardener out in Gardena, a gardener out in Pasadena and Hawthorne, Los Angeles, North Hollywood, you're just walking up to a gardener and saying, hey, where are your papers? That's bullshit. Because there's been plenty of guys who had their papers. There's plenty of guys who have been citizens. And they can say, oh, okay, if you arrested a child, good. Go after those guys. You have paper, you have addresses, you have pictures. Don't just sit there as an excuse to go in after everybody that's just walking and working, because those guys are just working, bro. They're just taking care of business. They're just doing what your ancestors did when they came over here. The funny part is the same people who will sit there, oh, they're breaking. You guys are the same, man. Your parents, it's the same. Nobody's innocent in this beautiful country we call America. I'm not the kind of person that's gonna say, oh, this is stolen land. No. You conquered it. Yeah, you got that, bro. But you did the exact same shit. Your family came here for a better life. And most of the people that are coming here illegally are coming for a better life. And then you'll have people will stand in line. That line's 15 years long. If your kid's starving over there, then I can understand why somebody's coming over here. Oh, well, we shouldn't be taking care of this. We should be taking care of America. Okay, let's stop sending money to Israel, bro. That is the ultimate nuke to these people. Oh, no, you can't. Right? Oh, no, because the Bible told me 3,000 years ago that, no, that's Israel, right? Because the Bible said, yeah, we got to give it back. So you're telling me that somebody who got their land, taken over, conquered 200 years ago, can't complain about it. But if 3,000 years ago, the Bible says I need this land, you can go there and take it. Make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. You're telling me we can go to another country, take all their shit because the Bible said 3,000 years ago, hey, man, this is their land. But we can't sit here and bring up 200 years ago and how this was taken. Make it make sense, bro. But to me, there's a middle ground, but nobody ever wants to be in the middle ground. The good thing that's coming out of this is that hopefully a lot more people are getting educated with politics and will have the same energy when liberals get into power, because eventually they will get into power, bro. But let's see if they really pass some amnesty laws to keep the people here who deserve it, because there is millions of people here to deserve it. Before the gates were open, and they were open during the Biden administration, I think it was estimated that there was 11 million illegals in the United States. I would say out of those 11 million, I would say probably 10 million were law-abiding, and I'm giving the other numbers high because I don't want people complaining. Law-abiding, tax-paying, and believe it or not, they're paying taxes, bro. Most of these illegal who are working without paper are paying taxes, and they're never getting their taxes back. They're putting into the pot. They're not getting anything back. So don't let somebody tell you they're not paying taxes. They're not this. They're paying taxes, bro. They're paying taxes. They're working. And those people deserve to stay here, bro. But that's just me. Let's see what we got. Yeah. They only care when it's in their favor. Absolutely, bro. And that's what we're going to see in this next 2 to 3 years. We're going to see liberals come into power. And we're going to see what they're going to do with that power, because from what I've been seeing is it's always good talk, bro. It's always good talk. Yeah, there you go. Carlos, Dallas don't claim you, fool. Let me see. Rand Paul talked about legalizing them with stipulation: no criminal, no voting, no welfare, too many to kick out, doing jobs. Yeah. I'm all down for that, bro. I'm down for can't get on welfare for 5 years. Can't like you got to give them a certain years, right? You can't do this, you can't do that, or even let's say 5 years, and within 10 years you don't get on welfare, then you're eligible to be a citizen. If you're get on welfare within 5 years and you're no longer eligible to be a citizen, you'll stay with that green card. You mess up, you get kicked out. Like give them some real rules and regulations where we can start taxing people, knowing who's over here, not having people be scared to go on the streets. And they shouldn't, bro. It's crazy to be where we at today and just start picking people up for no damn reason. Yeah, yeah, they did. They did. Like I'm saying, everybody has one way or another done it in this country, bro. But they don't want to talk about that, But they want to talk about something from 3,000 years ago, carnal. Let's see. Sad part is, if any one of us that would protect ourselves from someone that would attack us with a firearm, we would be punished. But they can do it just by seeing one person. Absolutely, Fischler. What's going on, my man? How you been? It's yeah, it's just beyond like it's bigoted, bro. It's bigoted. It's racial profiling. It's we can do whatever we want, and there's nothing you can do about it because I got the feds behind me. I got Homeland Security behind me. I got the army behind me. I got the government behind me. I mean, he Trump right now is acting like the Mad King, bro. He's acting like the Mad King and just doing whatever he wants because he's got people in his ear and they're just pushing for this. They're loving this. I don't see him going to some Irish areas and getting those people. Shout out to the Irish. I'm not seeing that. The Russian, same thing. I'm not seeing all you're seeing for the most part is, Latinos, people of color getting picked up, bro. All right. Bayborn 79. Sorry, AC, but let's be honest, the halftime show was bunk. If they had the World Cup in Puerto Rico and the headliner was Garth Brooks, that would make no sense. Like Bad Bunny Super Bowl. Plus, his lyrics are offensive. I don't think so, bro. I think first of all, I think he did an absolutely great job. Bayborn, I think he just pissed off because 49ers didn't make it. But no, I think he did an absolutely great job because what I saw and what he used this platform is what a lot of Latinos don't use their platform or just don't have that opportunity to use their platform. He went up there and was classy about it. Wasn't nothing too crazy and raunchy. He was out there and he represented Latinos in general. He shouted out every Latino country. He said, "This is America. We are America." In other words, we are part of your country. Like recognize us. That's what I saw out of it. Recognizes we are here. We are part of your country. Showing the kid who was taken by ICE. It's a 5-year-old kid. See, we don't have empathy for that because it's not a 5-year-old white kid, bro. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it and say, no, it's true, bro. White lives matter more than brown lives. People may not want to believe that, but there is people every day in the world, today, yesterday, got blown up somewhere in some brown country. It won't make the news. If that bomb were to go off in England, oh, it's gonna be all over the news, bro. If that bomb goes off in Germany, oh, it's gonna be all over the news, bro. When white people die, people feel it more. And maybe we've been conditioned, from back in the conquistador days, back in the slavery days, or just the movies and TVs. When we see a brown person, we are not as sympathetic. And I know some people may not agree with it, but it's facts, bro. Look at any media. You can see it time and time again. If it's a brown person, it's very rare you're gonna get the same attention. Let's say a Latina goes missing. If you got a pretty blue-eyed, blonde hair girl, oh man, the news is gonna be all on it because what? Because that sells. But seeing a 5-year-old kid Latino, it don't, bro. To them, I believe they just probably feel like when they see a kid in Tijuana out there begging for coins and they don't give a shit. I mean, I see me myself. I see one of my nephews, man, my son, my family member, bro. I see my brothers. I see my uncles. Like I see my family when I see these people, and that's why to me it's heartbreaking what the hell's going on out there. But to the rest of America, the ones who are all for this shit, like, nah, you don't see it because it ain't white. I mean, that's just these are facts. Oh, for sure, bro. For sure. They're Israel first, nothing that. Facts, bro. Facts, but they don't hear that. Uh, What up? What up? What up? What's up, big groups? I had to go live. Full Bad Bunny got me pumped up, bro. Bad Bunny got it going. And tomorrow I don't work either. It's rainy day schedule, bro. That's another reason I'm on here. Rainy day schedule. Let me see where you guys are at over here. Get bigger there. That's what I wanted to see. There you go. There you go. Escape that real quick. Turning Point show was garbage. Yeah, I think they had 5 million, which it's not a shabby number whatsoever, bro. I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh, fucking 5,000 or something, even though 5,000 is big. But and that Bad Bunny had 135 million, bro. 135 million people watching. And like I said, to me, he represented for the raza, bro. He put on, homeboy. There's a lot of people that could have, would have, didn't. Like one that I saw, and I think it was kind of a cowardice answer was what's that guy's name? Jelly? What's his name? What's fucking Jelly Belly's name? He lost all kind of weight, bro. Somebody help me out with this. The one singer, he's a great singer. He was at the Grammys, and they asked him about about ICE and all that, and his response was pretty much, "Oh well, I don't have a phone. I haven't kept up on the like fool. Ain't nobody not know what's going on. What's going on with ICE right now? Jelly Roll, there you go, buddy. Thank you. Jelly Roll took the cowardice out, bro. What we need is somebody in the conservative community, white conservative community, to tell the truth. And the truth is, what's going on with ICE is wrong. Not the part where they're going after and arresting real criminals, rapists, killers, murders, whatever they originally said. But when you're going after hardworking people who haven't committed a crime, and the only crime they've committed is their skin color is brown, and you see him at a job that you assume are illegal, which it could be gardeners. I'm a construction worker. It could be housemaid, painters. They're going after people at construction sites. Bro, these vatos are working, bro. You got a bunch of tweakers out there. Like in LA, you got the 6th Street Bridge. Looks like a black eye. You got no power there. You got no this. But no, you'd rather go after people who are working? That's low hanging fruit, bro. You're just bullying people at this point. That's what it is. I'm going to bully you. I'm going to take your shit. And it's wrong. It's wrong on so many levels. But the thing is, what can we do about it? And a lot of it has to do with, boycott and stuff like that. But in reality, when it comes to us, bro, I just don't know if it's going to happen. I really don't. When I say that, I mean like this. Dodgers, bro. Dodgers, right? Dodgers are gonna go to the White House, bro. Ain't nobody gonna boycott them. They're not. They're just not, bro. We will boycott a small company. Somebody who sells tacos in the mega sporter. Oh, we gotta boycott, take these guys out of business. But huge companies that can really make a difference, no, we won't, bro, because the Dodgers, bro. They're the San Francisco 49ers. They're this, they're the Raiders. We won't, bro. We won't. Well, what I liked about Bad Bunny was he put all the Latinos in one group. It's powerful. I think that's what he showed. He showed our unity is power. But unfortunately, we're not the type to unify, man. We're still banging north south. We're still banging east west. We're still banging this, banging that. We can't even come together in the streets, let alone in a political arena. Because what's going to be is, oh, well, you voted for this, and then well, if you, and here we go again. That's kind of why I even stepped away for a minute from this, because at the end of the day, it's like it is the same thing over and over and over again, and we'll see when a Democrat gets to power. We'll see if it's going to change. And if I was a betting man, I'd say not much is going to change, bro, until you have some actual type of immigration reform, real immigration reform, not an executive order. An executive order, and as you will see, if a Democrat comes into office in the next 2 to 3 years, he's going to sign every executive order that Donald Trump put in, take it out, and here we go again. So it's just we are the political football, even though we are so huge, bro. We can't even put California on lock. If we can't put California on lock and make it our yard, quote unquote, we'll never get America, bro. And when I say we as getting as like as us having a political power and say so, we're just gonna be used like chumps. I mean, that's what I believe, carnal. What's going on, Loli Cruz? How you been, homeboy? Yeah, for sure. He said I was praying that Bad Bunny will not come out with. Yeah, that would have been bad, bro. Yeah, that's when I would have said, "Oh, no, F this. But no, he held it down, bro. He held it down. Let's see what we got. Even the ICE protests look like paid protesters. Some are, bro. Some are. I mean, straight up, some are. But I don't know. It's. I get the protesting, but it just doesn't seem to work the way you think it is. What you got? The kid in the Super Bowl was actually a child actor named Lincoln Fox. He has an Instagram where he posted it, and having guys running on each other is a no-go. Also, babysitting during God Bless USA. Absolutely, bro. Yeah, so that kid, I guess, was there to portray the kid, right? Which it made the point. I think the grinding part of the two dudes, it's sad, bro, but it's like that's how much power the LGBTQ has. In other words, if you're gonna do this show, it's like every movie nowadays. I don't care what movie, what show, if they don't have a gay part or something that insinuates that somebody's homosexual, you cannot get on certain platforms. But to me, learn from it, bro. Learn from it. Look how much power a small group of people have in the United States. That's two of them. That's the LGBTQ, and that's the Jewish community. Two small groups, huge amount of power. Heck, even the brothers have a huge amount of power. We're the big sloppy essay, bro. We're that big fat motherfucker as a whole. Because in reality, that's what they look at us like. They look at us like we ain't shit, bro. They would not be doing this with any other community. They would definitely not do it with the brothers. The brothers would have burned this bitch down a long time ago, brother. I'll tell you that right now. If this was like something that they were going after the brothers, they would have burned this bitch down a long time ago. A long time ago. 6 months into this administration, we would have still had fires going on right now, and they would have been like, whoa, we got to talk. With us? No, bro. With us, there is no, like I said, there is just no collective unity. There's too many, there's two people way too far on other sides of the aisle that can't even just come in the middle and say, bro, can't we agree on this? And I think there's a lot of stuff we can agree on, but unfortunately, homie, so far, chale tamale. He said, aren't you an advocate for your community? Where's the money you're receiving for talking for people? I don't know. Fucking, what's his name? Fantastic James. I hope you can tell me where the money is. I didn't know I was getting paid for doing what I do in my community, bro. I didn't know I was getting paid for it. It'd be nice. Maybe I gotta talk to my wife and see if she's been getting some checks and hiding them underneath the mattress, bro. Because I had no clue that I was getting paid for doing free community work, bro. As a matter of fact, now that thank you for that. We're hopefully gonna get started. I've been talking to one of the guys in the city council right there on the park, Tierra Street Park. Some of you guys have been following my IG and YouTube have noticed that I've been taking jiu-jitsu classes on Wednesdays. So anybody wants to pull up and get it in with American Cholo, GB Studio on Wednesdays, 6:30. Jiu-jitsu classes. Well, I'm trying to implement it where we're going to be going at least twice, maybe 3 times a week to the park on Tierra Street and teaching young men and women that want to get involved. I'll give you guys a link here in the next 2 weeks, how we can register you guys, how we can get age groups and figure out how we do it. So, because I've been going, bro. Excellent exercise, man. Excellent exercise. It's a great way to work out. Good camaraderie amongst men, and they have even kids classes. It's a great way to build your self esteem as a kid and all that stuff. So I will be doing that, and I'm not getting paid for that either. Fantastic, James. So, but if you do want to donate, let me know, bro. Just let you know. Too many clowns on YouTube, bro. Oh yeah, I see it, bro. I see it, bro. I see it. Trust me. Oh my god. The warden left the YouTube yard, and that thing has become a shit show, homie. But they can have that, bro. They can have the pinta stuff, homeboy. Yes. There was an anti. I didn't see that one, Smiley. I did not see that one. Yeah, same thing, bro. Joseph, the people complaining about Bad Bunny, they were talking shit, and Kendrick Lamar performed last year, and he spoke it. I'm knowing this. There was all kind of memes that said all the white people, all this, I was in, him saying that, homie. It's the same thing. The difference with this one, which shows you how much more animosity they have towards us, is they said we're gonna do our own halftime show. Yeah, because Kendrick Lamar, you think Donald Trump was bumping Kendrick Lamar last year? You think his administration was liking? No, they had no clue what Kendrick was talking about, bro. They ain't like us. I don't think Trump was talking. They ain't like us last year, bro. But that's just what it is. You know. Oh no, I do. Broken and homeless. I do, bro. No, but that guy was insinuating that I get paid for doing those events. No. We do the Easter thing. We do the backpack giveaway. We do the Halloween thing over there. We do the what else we do? Oh, the turkey giveaway. And now hopefully we're gonna implement some jujitsu classes over there at the same park, bro. And that's in my neighborhood where I grew up, where I used to be a gangbanger at. It's about 5 blocks up the street. So no, I still definitely give back to the community. Only because you don't see me on YouTube as much as some people would like. I'm definitely still in the neighborhood trying to help out as much as I can, brother, for sure. Looks like I'm starting to watch YouTube again, thanks to Gil. That's right, brother. Yeah, I'll try to, you know what I'm gonna try to do? I'm gonna try to schedule it. I think Tuesdays are good because Wednesdays I go to the class. So either Tuesdays or Thursdays, I'll do a show politically, because I see a lot of people in our, let's say, like community wise, and they try to speak on politics, but they're not as educated, I guess. Not that I'm fully educated, because some people say, Gil, you're a dumbass, you know what you're talking about. But I can at least hold a conversation and talk about different sides of the aisle and what's going on. So that's why I see, believe it or not, even my wife was like, this was about 2 weeks ago, and this I already coming on. She goes, you need to go on. I said, well, what are you talking about, babe? No, you need to do a podcast. You need to start educating some of these guys. They're talking about this and they have no clue what it. And then she asked me, and I'm telling, oh, this is what happened. And she's like, what? These people have no clue what's going on? I said, yeah. I said, I know, unfortunately. Somebody, they keep telling me like, oh, like I wasn't talking about Epstein before all this. We've been talking about Epstein. Epstein is a black eye to the United States billionaires, millionaires, politicals, and that's both sides, bro. Republicans and Democrats. Donald Trump ran on he was going to release the Epstein files. Okay? He gets into office a few months later, he starts talking about the Epstein files, a hoax. Why he was talking about it. I'm looking at this like, who is this guy? This isn't the guy I voted for. I voted for a guy who told me he was going to release the Epstein files. I voted for a guy who told me he was going to release the Kennedy files. And they fought tooth and nail not to release the Epstein files. They said there was nothing there. They just put a 3 million file dump. And there's still another, I think, 7 million. So you're going to sit there and tell me you have a let's say if it was on paper, it'll be a room this size with boxes on both sides. And I'm an attorney and I'm saying, hey, I need to get your paperwork, see what you guys have, your discovery. And you say, oh, there's no discovery. We have nothing. And then when the judge makes you give me everything, you got 7 million files or papers. You call that nothing? I call that lying. I call that trying to hide something. And whether he's trying to hide something for himself or he's trying to hide something for his billionaire people or somebody who may be blackmailing him, there's something wrong there. The president is compromised. And right now, I can clearly say the president is compromised. Was it Patel Cattell? Compromised. John Bongino, that's why he's gone. Compromised. All these guys get in there and find out that, hey, this is not how we play. We don't sit there and show these people that. And the only reason they showed it was because people started pushing and finally got them to show it. The Kennedy ones, they haven't released the full Kennedy stuff. The Kennedy was over, what, 60 years ago now? There's nobody alive, but there's countries that are involved, but they don't want you talking about those countries. That's what everybody's starting to see and open their eyes about. There is countries, small countries involved that seem to have a lot of political pull when it comes to our government, bro. And that's why they don't want to release the Kennedy files. The Epstein files, how in the hell are you going to tell me there is 1,000 victims? You have people flying these people there. You have people working, driving. All no, you're trying to, you got P. Diddy for flying a hooker over state lines. This guy was flying to other countries with presidents there, with Bill Gates there. Bill Gates on an email is asking him for some type of antibiotics so he could slip to his wife because he got some kind of STD from a Russian prostitute. This was their little game room. Now when people were saying about Pizzagate and all that stuff, all these conspiracies are coming to light. They're coming true. You have a guy that nobody knows where he got his money. You have a guy who had multiple meetings with prime ministers of, I think, England, prime minister of Israel, CIA. I mean, this guy was fully connected. So was Epstein just some regular guy? No, absolutely not. Epstein was blackmailing these guys or blackmailing them for a country. That's my belief. And I think it's all there. But the media is not looking at that because the media is controlled. The media is controlled, and they're saying, no, don't. Imagine if Putin was in there and they'd be saying Putin has blackmail, Putin did this, Putin did that. Putin ain't on the Epstein list, homeboy. Funny how that works, right? Putin is not on the Epstein list. The Chinese president is not on the Epstein list. All the people that are quote unquote our worst enemies in the world are not on the Epstein list. Who's on the Epstein list is a bunch of movie stars, congressmen, presidents, former princes, you name it. People with money, people with status, people with power are on the Epstein list. And that's why there is no arrest. Maxwell went there, I think yesterday, pled the fifth. To me is, why don't you give her immunity from here on out? You can give her immunity. Because once you give her immunity, she can no longer play the fifth. But what she's trying to do is she's playing her cards where she is hoping for a presidential pardon for her to testify. And what she's going to testify is that Trump did nothing wrong, bro. Is there proof of that? I don't think there is like 100% proof, but is there proof on other people? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's people that know what was going on, bro. There is victims out there. So let's get these victims in. Let's have them testify. Let's go after these pedophiles. It's amazing to me how we're so quick to go after a gardener, use the federal power, the federal money to have these guys go after gardeners, go after cement finishers, go after people working in fields. But you got a ring of pedophiles all in front of you. You got millions of paperwork on them, but you look the other way. That's the country we live in. And that's both sides, bro. That's both sides. So when people are saying that, these rich guys were doing this with little kids and that, the proof is there. It's no longer a conspiracy theory. It's all there. But they're telling you it's a hoax. There's nothing there. Nothing there, huh, Trump? Like, come on, bro. This is nuts. But this is me, man. What do you think about Lefty's Grammy? I thought it was dope, bro. I thought Lefty getting a Grammy was a huge thing. I think Peso got one as well because he got the album of the rap album of the year. So Peso got one as well. Yeah, of course you're gonna get the haters, bro. But you know what? How can you hate on that fool when he came out and people thought he was crazy and he's talking about, he's gonna get a Grammy. He manifested that shit, bro. Lefty manifested that, bro. And he got his Grammy. Say what you want about him. Try to say he only had 4 words, whoopty whoop whoop, but that fool still got a Grammy. That's like sitting there and saying, you're just a punter in the team and you need a pump, but I still got a ring, homie. I still got a ring. So to me, he's sober, which is a good thing, bro. Hopefully he stays on that track. And to me, him winning the Grammy is a big win for all Latino artists, bro. That's the way we got to look at it. We have to support our own, bro, regardless. He won a Grammy. Don't look at like I said, people are always looking at, especially in the Latino community, looking at like the negative side of it. Like, somebody got a brand new truck, bro. It's clean, everything. Oh, but it's yellow, bro. Like, really? Why'd you buy that? Like, that's what I wanted, bro. I want to be all right. Instead of, somebody buys a house and they bought it out in Palmdale and you say, you bought it in Palmdale. Like, dude, that's a long ass drive. Like, nah, fool, say congratulations, homie. Be happy for that person. You'll be surprised how much more life will bless you when you are happy for other people. Cuando estás todo amargado and you're all just hating on people and life ain't gonna bless you, bro. Because you a hater. I mean, like true haters like that, they don't get blessed, bro. They get the lemon juice, bro. To me, it's a congratulate. To me, Lefty getting that is a big win, homie. Oh, yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. I was more entertained with. You know what? I won $350, bro. So I'm good. Little man, appreciate you. I won $350, so I was good. But the game sucked, bro. The real Super Bowl was between the Rams and the Seahawks, bro. Even though we should have won that game, that fool fucking dropped the ball. But don't get me started there. You gone this entire time. Glad you're back, bro. I've been away since you've been gone. That's right, Central Cal. Aquí estamos, güey. Oxnard, California is a borderline. Borderline what? There. The kids are rejecting the indoctrination program and are talking about public schools all over the country. Yeah, I think they are, man. That's right. Oh boy. Got some real stuff. Yeah, I mean, like YouTube yard, the stuff is all right and dandy, bro, but it gets played out, homie. He said, "Don't duck me, you so clapping for trompito." Nah, homie, fuck Trump on mines right now, bro. I'm not. I am not, and I've always said this. I am not a cult follower, bro. When Biden wasn't off and he was doing garbage, I'm gonna press up on Biden. Trump's in office, he's doing garbage. I'm gonna press up on Trump. He's doing a horrible job on foreign relations. He's doing a horrible job staying out of people's business and wars. We're over here being the hitmen for Israel and going to war whatever they want. We looked the other way when it came to the destruction and the genocide in Palestine, because that's exactly what it was, bro. It's a genocide in Palestine, bro. Look what they did. You noticed you don't hear anymore. Think about this, people. You no longer hear the Trump administration talking about any kind of war crimes in Ukraine. You notice that, right? There is no more war crimes in Ukraine. Why? Because if you bring up the war crimes in Ukraine, all the people are going to say, well, what about Israel? And they're like, whoa. So they don't talk about that anymore, bro. That's just the way it is. It's but nah, homie, I definitely am not a cult follower, carnal. So Calmate. Lefty is not Latino, it's from the United States. You can't travel to Latin America if you wanted to. It's called a passport, fool. Look it up. I mean, it's called a passport. Somebody will say you're not Latino. Somebody will say you're not Hispanic. Somebody will say, nah, come on, bro. You can sit there and argue about that till kingdom come. So to me, Want to say Latino? Say Latino, homeboy. If not, I don't know what to call you. Carnal. I don't know what to call you. Yeah, raza, uplifting raza is unheard of, bro. It's easier. It's easier for us to just just to hate on one another, bro. Let's see what I got. It's much easier. Oh, show comments on stage. Let me see. Tall. That's a little bit better. Wide. It's a little bit better. Medium. It's a little bit better. There you go. That looks a little bit better. Yeah, the StreamYard is starting to have some different stuff on it. So the only thing I don't like that you can't get here in the comments section and press up. Let's see. Yeah, so the Epstein ones, I don't know where they're gonna go with it, but I'm almost certain that they're just trying to let the news cycle go. But I don't think people are. There's a lot of people, and especially the big podcasters now, because that's what's changed the game, bro. The larger podcasters have changed the game where they are no longer just being handed a piece of paper or looking at a teleprompter and reading what the big executives are telling them to say. Now you got people. If you told me 5 years ago that they would be calling Tucker Carlson the number one anti-Semite and saying that Tucker Carlson is working for a foreign government and that Tucker Carlson's not he's the most un-American person, I would have said you're crazy, bro. But no, Tucker started seeing the light. I don't agree with him on immigration stuff, and I believe that a lot of the right wing conservative podcasters, I just don't think they've really had a conversation with somebody who can explain to them what's really going on out there, because it's easy when it's not somebody who looks like you getting pressed up on. Like I said, if you were just seeing, like the country folks, right? Country folks, rednecks, white boys, whatever you guys want to call yourselves, they are some of the most, let's say, family orientated, stay out of my land, keep the government off my fucking shit. Don't come over here, tell me what I can do with my property. The government, F the government, F the government, F the government. That's what they are, bro. But now these people are for the government, walking around in an American city, pressing up on people. What happened to the Second Amendment? What happened to your rights, bro? It's like, some of you white people are giving up your freedoms. And if you think that the government's stopping with us, then you're a fucking fool, bro. You've learned nothing from history. Once they're done with one group, they're coming after you. Because why? Because you emboldened the Mad King. And that's what Trump is right now. Trump is the fucking Mad King. He's fucking going crazy. Nobody's telling him anything. And the same people who are always talking about keep your hands off my guns and keep your government off my family. That's what they're doing. They're pressing up on people because people ain't really pushing back. Getting a phone and putting in somebody's face, that ain't doing nothing, bro. All they're using that as propaganda to fight their fight, bro. I don't know what exactly we have to do, but that's not working anymore. Those type of they're not working, bro. I hate to break the news to you. That is not working at all, bro. I don't know what needs to happen, but what's been happening, I hate to break the news to you. I remember when they were doing this stuff in LA, these guys thought it was the revolution. Like, nah, revolutions go for years, bro. Revolutions ain't 3, 4, 5 days, bro. Revolutions go for years, and you gotta be willing to sacrifice everything. And I don't think this generation is made like that anymore. I really don't. I think this generation, it looks good for the gram. It sounds good, but nah, nobody's really trying to sacrifice that much anymore, bro. Mm, let's see. Hey, he really needs to boycott stuff. But for example, Dolores Huerta didn't like illegals. We are always divided. Well, yeah, the same thing with Cesar Chavez. Uh, you know, but it's a different time, it's a different era. Shit. we would get into fight with them as well. I mean, people when I first came to this country, you're a fucking paisa because I really didn't know how to speak English. My first language was Spanish, bro. Till I was 7 years old. That was my first language. So I would definitely get into fights as a kid because I was a paisa, I was a wetback, whatever, kids are mean, bro. And in the hood, you gotta stand up for yourself. But at this point in time, all those quote unquote paisas and wetbacks that we would say back then, because we thought we were better, because eventually you grow up and you think, oh, I'm a teenage kid, I'm a Chicano, I'm a Latino over here in the United States. You think, but nah, those are our people, bro. That's mom, that's dad, that's uncle, that's my tío. Those are our people, bro. If you do wrong, the difference between us and most people, when you do wrong, but I think this is how they've taken advantage of us. When we do wrong and we see somebody doing wrong, our first thought is, pues por pendejo. Straight up. Like, let's say you see somebody robbing a liquor store, comes out running with a gun, and the cops shoot him right away. We won't be out there protesting. We'll be like, because he's a fucking idiot. Why is he running out there with a gun? Why is he robbing a place? Right? And to me, I kind of understand that. But when it comes to other stuff where people aren't doing anything wrong and they're yeah, the most of us are we're into our own thing, bro. I think we become so Americanized, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love living the American dream, bro. I'm doing my thing. But at some point, we still gotta. I think we still gotta hold people accountable when it comes to voting, and we just haven't. We haven't, and hopefully this time around we will. Like I said, hopefully there'll be some other. Hopefully there come another presidential candidate that can sit there and really talk about immigration without doing the shit they're doing now. And we'll see. We'll see what's going on. We'll see how the governor's race out here in California goes, because whoever the governor in California is, let's see what kind of plan they have for immigration. Because right now the immigration policy is all jacked up, bro. Valley Ray, Joe Gill, you have to come back on a regular. Yeah, bro. I had this stuff, like all the stuff I have here for. I had to put away. I had to go in the cut to find it. I had to go get my mic. I had to go get my stuff. All this stuff was away, bro. I was chilling, but like I said, I was actually inspired by Bad Bunny's performance, bro, in a good way. I was inspired to be like, that's what we need, homie. We are that. We are Raza. We are all those countries. We got to stop separating ourselves because, with me, what I'll get from people, bro, and that's like, this is it. You're not Mexican. Like, dude, like that's how fucking petty we are. And to me, what race are you, bro? That's the question. What race are you? But if that's the route you're gonna go to, well, okay, they're gonna pick you up whether you're Mexican or not, homie. To them, you're all Mexican. That's what they look at you. They ain't look at you at no Puerto Rican, Dominicana. They ain't looking at you. They're looking at you like you a Mexican, homie. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all have our identity, but don't sit there and help people push that agenda as well, because that's what divides us, bro. But to me, I'll still talk about it and try to help. But if I was a Batman, bro, I don't know, bro. We can't even get along in the hood. You think we can get along on bigger platforms? Like, nah, man. Yeah. The right to wear weapons, yeah, for sure. Do they not know what they don't threat on me flag means? Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. That is the big thing they have, and that's what the government's doing to people right now. But they just, they don't want to sit there and look at it. Ah. Surge 104, he says, stop it with the victim mentality. I am Raza, and they haven't pressed up on my family or anyone that I know. See, that's not a victim mentality, bro. What you got is you got I'm special mentality. You're the kind of person, and I don't wish any of this on you, bro, but you're the kind of person that's never lost a family member to some tragic ass shit. And God forbid something like that happened to you, because there's people all the time that feel special, bro. It's just not going to happen to me. Just like when people are on the streets, I'm not going to get shot and killed. I'm not going to go to prison. I'm not going to go to jail. I'm not going to do this. I'm special. I'm special. Only because it hasn't happened in your family doesn't mean it doesn't happen to other people, bro. And your comment is the reason why it happens to us, bro. Because when it happens to one of us, where they're sitting there pressing up on somebody who's got papers, it's happening to all of us. And I'm not just saying Latinos, I'm talking to Americans in general. The federal government should not be walking up to you and asking you for your papers out in the middle of a city. If you're by the border, of course, I get it. Border Patrol. But at what point are you a foolish enough man to give up all your rights as a United States citizen because it hasn't happened to me? You know, some people, I don't like a lot of like cameras and all kind of stuff all over cities and all that. I don't like, I think people are bugging you and people will tell me, well, Gil, if you're not breaking the law, I don't give a shit if I'm not breaking the law, bro. I don't want to be spied on. Only because I'm not doing it. That's not why I'm worried about it. Nah, bro. Because they shouldn't be doing it. How about that? Only because one of your family members haven't got raped, murdered, doesn't mean it can't happen to you, bro. So don't put yourself on a high horse and think you're special just because it hasn't happened to you. There's a lot of fucked up shit in this world. And maybe because it hasn't happened to you, you don't know. I remember when I lost my brother, one of my cousins, she comes and she tells me, Gil, I'm so sorry. I know how you feel, this and that. And I looked at her. I said, Melissa, you don't know what the fuck I'm feeling right now. You have no fucking clue what the fuck I'm feeling right now after I lost my brother. About 7 years after that, 8 years after that, she lost her little sister, bro. My little cousin. She was going to college, 19 years old, lost her life tragically. I had forgotten that I told it to my cousin. My cousin came and told me we didn't even have a big service. It was just us and the family. And she says, you're right. So what are you talking about? And we're crying in the hotel room, bro. She goes, I remember when you told me you have no fucking clue what I'm feeling. And she's like, I feel it now. I'm fucking, and she just lost her kid. She's like, I'm fucking sorry, cousin. And we're sitting there both crying, bro. Now she felt what I felt. So for you to believe that it doesn't matter because you or your family haven't felt it, bro, that is the problem that we need to get over. That is the hump that we as a community need to understand, though. And with that, bro, I'm out of here. You guys have a good one. We'll do it again next Tuesday, 7 o'clock, same time, same bat channel. You guys have a good one. We all that we got, Playboys. Let's do it.